I made a name for myself. People started recognizing me. It's like, oh, that guy's, he's pretty strong, you know? And then I ran into an old friend that said, hey, have you met, you should go talk to George. And George was an old friend of mine that I grew up with. It turns out to be Hit from Calisthenics Kingz. What had happened was, where my real exposure to calisthenics was, I did a YouTube video when YouTube first came out. And I was like, oh, this seems like a cool outlet.
That was still not in the States, or that was in the States?
Yeah, it was in the States.
Okay.
Yeah, in the States. This is after I've been in my late 20s. I've had my son already, and I posted a YouTube video. My son was actually the cameraman.
Oh.
You know, at 7 years old, he was my cameraman. So he filmed me doing.
Oh, wait a second. How did it work that way at that time? What kind of cam? That was a small cam?
Yeah,
cam?
It was a little like a Canon camera that had the video option.
Yeah.
You know, that I got for like maybe $200 at the time.
$200?
Yeah.
It was easy to use?
Yeah, very easy to use.
With the beta tape or what?
Yeah, with the little SIM card.
Oh, that was a card? Okay,
yeah, it had a SIM card.
Okay.
So I got one for like my birthday or something like that, and taught him how to use it, and I realized he had a very steady hand. It's like 7 years old, so he used to film all my videos.
Oh, sure.
And then I would, take photos with him and stuff like that. So I did a video of just of me doing like a pull up, and then there were 2 bars, two different heights, and I did a pull up and then swung to the other bar and came back. Put it on YouTube just to see what would happen. Left it up there, I think about a week. I went back and checked it, and then you would see all the related videos, and then I found bartenders.
Oh shit! Because you put out this video, you see all the connection with the other videos.
So then I said, wait a minute, there's a whole community of people that's doing this already. So I started looking at the videos. I found Barbarians.
Yeah.
Where Zeph was doing the Brooklyn workouts and stuff like that on the grainy videos, the old days. So I said, okay, so I want to meet these people. And I went to 145th Street in Harlem, where they filmed a lot of the bartenders' videos. Went there to see if I would bump into some of them. And I never met anyone. I met an older guy, right? And he was like, doing pull-ups, and I did some workouts with him. But then I kept going to different parks. So then my whole mission was to find all these parks I saw in the videos. And by doing this, I made a name for myself. People started recognizing me. It's like, oh, that guy's, he's pretty strong, And then I ran into an old friend that said, hey, have you met, you should go talk to George. And George was an old friend of mine that I grew up with. It turns out to be Hit from Calisthenics Kingz.
Oh, it's Calisthenics Kingz.
And he grew up we were on the same floor, on the 3rd floor in the Bronx. He was on one side of the building, I was on the other side of the building. Oh. We were right around the corner. We used to practice karate in the parks and stuff. So I didn't know how to reach out to him. He didn't live in the neighborhood anymore. So I called a couple friends, and it's like, oh, he lives in the North Bronx. He goes to Ballet's gym up in the North Bronx. So I went up there, and I was actually living in the area also. And one day on the bus, I ran into him. This is how the universe works, You seek something, it comes to you as long as you keep looking.
Yeah.
So he goes, he looks at me, goes, oh yeah, you're in pretty good shape, I said, oh, everybody's been telling me to come to connect with you. He asked me if I could do a muscle up. I'm like, yeah. And mind you, I just learned how to do it recently, And he goes, you're on my team. I'm like, what team? He goes, Calisthenics Kingz. I'm like, what is that?
What is that?
And that was my introduction, my true introduction to the culture.
Oh, okay.
Because through him, we started traveling under Calisthenics Kingz, which was already established. And I started to meet a lot of people. We did a couple little expos and little demos and stuff like that. Okay. And that was my introduction to the whole calisthenic culture.
I thought it was only one guy.
Right. See, that's the thing. At one point, there were about maybe 6 members.
Yeah? Yeah,
there were about 6 members of Calisthenics Kingz. A lot of really good guys too. There was one guy who used to do street performances. He used to do like a lot of breakdance moves. So he, to this day, to me, still has one of the most amazing push-up floor routines I've ever seen in my life.
Oh yeah?
Like there's still people that can't do the things that he did back in 07, 06, whatever that was. And a couple other guys, big guys, a friend of mine, Mike Booth, who's really cool. He also grew up in the neighborhood with us. and a couple females. Yeah.
Wait, there was females back in the day?
Yeah. We had this girl Tiffany. She was part of Calisthenics Kingz, and right now I think she lives in Africa. Yeah, she lives in Africa.
Oh, what?
Yeah, she's like I think she's doing like philanthropy. You know, I haven't seen her in many years, but we had about 6 members at one time, and then they started breaking up. People started, to, had other lives, and it was just me and him.
Oh.
Just because we had a deeper connection. We knew each other since we were kids. And then at one point I was like, you know what, I want to take this in a different direction, than where it is. And we just parted ways amicably. I told him, like I had some of the passwords to the website and stuff like that. I just handed it over to him. I was like, all the best to you. I'll see you soon. I said, I want to try something else.
So back then, with that organized, you have a website, everything?
Yeah, we had a website. He took it very seriously, And so I learned that this can be a business, but it was like, personal training / entertainment, And I was more interested in the more personal training and outreach community aspect of it than more of like the training aspect of it. Because I was like, what I'm teaching people to do, just do a couple of tricks.
Yeah.
I'd rather teach them to be healthier,
Yeah.
So I was like, you know what? I want to try this my way. So I want to seem like I'm stepping on your brand, because it is his, it's his brand.
Yeah.
So I said, I want to step on your brand and take it in a different direction you might not agree with.
Yeah.
So just part ways. You do your thing. I'm gonna still promote your stuff. There's still love. And then I just went off, and then from there I just kept on my journey.